Hello YouTube, welcome to All Will Fall, a colony management game with a bunch of good physics to it. Now, I'm sure you're all worried. Don't be. RimWorld is definitely still on the docket. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I suddenly got this game and, well, as you can see, I've played a little bit of it, so I got a bit interested in it. Now, don't worry, I'm not gonna make it super great. In fact, I only played the game enough to unlock one single extra town, which, you know, yeah, we could do this random town real quick. I'm just gonna show you what the game is like, and if you guys like it, I'll play a playthrough of it. But that's what we're going to do. We're just gonna play a bit of the game, and we'll see what it's like. I mean, I already know I like it, so first we're going to pause the game so I can explain a few things. First and foremost, welcome to All Will Fall. A game where, well, basically, you and your survivors are the last few people. Now, when you play the tutorial, you'll see this fancy little ship going along in a storm, and it's basically, if you ever see those pictures of, like, crab fishing ships in the middle of a storm, where the waves are literally slamming into it and people are flying all across the ship, yeah, it definitely looked like that. You didn't see the people, obviously, but you definitely saw the ship going through those waves, and it ended with your ship coming at you onto, well, here. Or wherever the tutorial island is, of course. But yeah, the game definitely has these fun little quirks where there's just water all around, and you have to manage building around it, because if you look up here, this is the weather-o-meter. Right now, it's going to be calm and with a little bit of wind, definitely a lot of sunshine, no rain for the next 2 days. Then there's going to be low tide, where the water level is going to go down 4 meters. There's going to be a little bit more wind and the same amount of sunlight, no rain. After that, though, the water level is going to rise back up in the high tide, same level. It never goes higher than the sea level, and the sea level, as far as I know, does not go up. According to what the game's told me so far, the water does not go up. The sea level does not go up. It only goes down. Now, the tide does definitely go up and down, obviously. So yeah, do be careful about that. You can see we have various different resources in the upper screen. And the main thing that you're going to be looking out for is food right here. So we're going to need to try to get past all of this crap. Oh, that's fun. Nah, but we should be able to. There we go. Okay, just build some support blocks. And do be careful because nah, I can't show it. I could show it if I exited out of here, but yes, these blocks can indeed go and, well, fall. They have physics, after all. So do be careful when it comes to messing about with it. And obviously this game has, well, verticality to it, so you can of course get rid of the height, see what's underneath, or if you want to, you can just crawl under here and just try to look in there, see what's going down, yeah. Me personally, yeah, no, I just lower this so I can see what's down here. We got some foods, stuff, some piles of junk, more piles of junk, piles of propane, piles of, well, gas and junk. And yeah, this is, oh, piles of water, which we are going to need, and, oh no, that's a very good point. Water's up there. Okay, good. I was gonna say, oh shit, we need water. But we're good. It'll be fine. We shall be fine, for the most part. We'll be fine, he said, with hope in his heart and fear in his guts. You can see up here in the upper left-hand screen, this is your quest. It basically, yeah, wants you to set a basic camp. Obviously, we are going to be doing that. Mostly because we need to. Not just for the quest, but because, well, we need to. Alrighty, now we let the game play. And yeah, to start with your initial crash ship, it acts as a storage thing, so you don't need to worry about absolutely building those if you don't want to, but you're going to want to. Trust me on that one.
Construction completed.
You're going to want to. And I'll build them there. And that should take care of that quest. And as you saw, it does give you quest rewards, so it's a good idea to get it done.
Great decision, Captain. As long as you keep them happy, people won't really care how you achieve your goals.
Yes, and that's another thing that we can talk about. The people. You have three different types. You got the workers, you got the sailors, and you got the engineers. Each and every one, of course, has their own, basically, happiness meter. The happier they are, the more they're willing to basically go through some shit. Or I guess I should say, the more perks you get. For instance, once we reach 8 happiness with the workers, the workers gain 2 carry capacity. Once we reach 15, their leader, right here, Mr. Barrack Clifftone, gains his traits. You don't know what their traits are, as far as I know, till they actually go and, well, unlock. Same with the sailors. Sailors get 50% increased move speed. Yeah, 15 is always the same. It's always the same. They unlock their leader's traits. However, everything after that, as far as I know, 50. 50 is also the same. So, 15, 50, and... no, it appears that... Yes. Okay, after 50, everything's pretty much the same. But the other 4 traits that are before it, other than 15, of course, sorry. Other than 15, they are all different for each and every group. And you will have quests like this that'll actually, you know, have different kinds of stuff, different kinds of things. Though the grayed out ones are because, well, we don't have a simple boat or wood boiler or demolition hut yet. It wants us to decide. Now, we can just say, shut up all of you, and get some influence, which you do kind of need for some of the events later on. Basically, these quests/events. Sometimes the options are better just to spend the influence, but mostly the influence is used for policies that aren't available yet. The policies, I think, are going to be unlocked later. And those policies basically change how your people interact with stuff. Like how much happiness they gain from food or water, how much comfort they get from their houses, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. So right now we're doing pretty alright, but we ought to go and start thinking about getting some housing down. And yeah, don't worry too much. Your workers can get through that one tile gap, so don't worry about that too much. Though each of these simple wood houses can only accommodate two people, so that right there accommodates 6 people. That's how many that place is going to be able to accommodate, which means we're going to need a lot more. Luckily, we can. We can, just as simple as just...
Building completed.
Well, hopefully getting 66 wood. Once we get 66 wood, we'll just fill in this little thing. And you'll see here that... Well, I guess I can show you now. You'll see here that there's the red bars. That tells you right now that it's going to start collapsing. If I actually let this go and let it build, building will collapse in 9 hours. So needless to say, you don't want to do that. Oop. And yeah, in case something you actually built fell down, you can slow time, stop it, and get rid of the thing real quick while your time is stopped. I would suggest doing that so you don't waste resources, because you do get the resources back when you deconstruct at least these support beams. So you're going to want to at least get your resources back for the support beams. But you'll see that this line of support beams are lighting up light green. Why is that? Well, that's because they're helping to support the other group of support beams. Go over here. You'll see that now the support beams and that metal pipe there is now all lit up. That's because it's all helping it be supported. Nice. Very good. And we are deconstructing the boat, which I'm fine with. I'm okay with that. We don't need to deconstruct it, but then again, we don't need to keep it either. Now, you can see the green square here. Yeah, that's your door. That's the door you need to go and, well, go places. Obviously, you're going to want to keep that place, keep the door open. And one tile gap is more than enough to obviously keep them open and allow your people to run around.
Construction completed.
Alrighty, and now we have gotten rid of our boat. we will put a small lab right there. And now, the small lab is one interesting little thing. I'm just going to fill this in completely because I'm not too worried about trying to get down there right now. We will get down there eventually, just not right now. Okay, small lab here is being built up. And once it's completely built, yada yada yada. Okay, so we got a door there, but we also have a door there. The great thing about these small labs is that they can help your guys. They can help your guys get up to tall places, but also be put down low in case you, well, need a little bit of extra space. All of this works out pretty dang well. Okay. And now I am going to begin building my way down here. Ooh. Maybe not that way. Because yes, there is obviously a way down there. And that way is, well, honestly, I'm just gonna get rid of that. Oop, did that wrong. Dang it. Okay, so definitely won't be going down that way, apparently. Okay, then we will go down this way. Hopefully. Okay, make sure you rotate the ladder the right way the first dang time. And now, once these are finally built, now all of your people can get down here, and more importantly, can get to this pile of food, because, yeah, as you can see, we're losing food and we're losing water really fast. So we are going to want to do something about that. And the main thing that we are going to want to do is we are going to want to get over to here, where this pile of water is. Now, we don't have to worry too much about that exactly, because we do have the capability of getting to there. We just gotta, well, get this gas taken care of. And I'm a little bit shocked that nobody's coming over and getting it. Hang on. We might need to go and change something a little bit here. Ah, it's too tall. Okay, I see. I'm picking up what you're laying down now, brother. I see. Okay, well, that's not very fun. But then again, I'm not too worried. Because we just do a little something like this. And suddenly we have access to that. And there you go. Now, what can we do with that? Simple. We can make weak explosives. Now, we already have some explosives, which I didn't even realize that we did have some. So that's going to help us out a little bit. Because what we need to do is we need to blow up this rubble. There's no other way to get it right now, because the only ways to gather it, you can see this little exclamation mark down here, can be gathered by advanced crane, metal crane, wood crane wide, advanced demolition hut, metal gathering hut, demolition hut, simple boat, advanced boat, metal boat. Obviously, we don't have any of those buildings, And we won't have any of those buildings for quite a while. So honestly, it's better to just go destroy it. Of course, a whole bunch of wood rubble over here. And this is a particular object. These are crates around, and they can be interacted with by sending your colonists. And this can be done basically to go and get various events firing off. Events will happen on their own, but those just basically give you a bit of a benefit. It's just a random event. Now, the small lab is, of course, where you're going to do all your researching. And we are going to want to go and grab our... We are going to want, I believe, to start with a simple boiler. Actually, no. We're going to want woodcatcher. Yeah, we're going to want the woodcatcher. Woodcatcher is basically just going to go and grab stuff, just reach on down into here and grab little bits of wood that are floating around. As far as I know, this is just a passive generating effect, though, like with mini buildings, there are things that can improve it. Oh, are we going to see any right now? Probably not. Probably not. Which is unfortunate. But I guess I can kind of point it out. So every now and again, you'll have floating little piles of like junk or wood or anything like that that flows on through. It'll actually flow on through your area and even be affected by like waves and shit. So yeah, it can be blown away by a storm. In fact, they usually do get blown away by a storm, so watch out for that. But anyways, sorry about that. But yeah, so normally what the good move to do is to basically build a boat to go and collect them. However, you can also build a woodcatcher above them, and it'll actually go and increase the output of the woodcatcher temporarily. And these weak explosives have been built. You see right there. We detonate it, and while these look like they're still there, I'm clicking, and well, they're definitely not still there. That's still there, but give it just a half a moment, and they dissolve. And now we have an open slot to get into here, to get at these pile of explosives. Now, as the name implies, since there's a weak explosives, yes, there are strong explosives too. Yes, there are strong explosives too. Now, I do kind of want to go and put this one down, but I'm a little afraid that it's going to... Well, it shouldn't damage. I hope it won't damage the wood path. If it does, oh well, we get the resources back for it anyways. The main reason why I'm doing this is so that way we can actually, you know, have more than just one person working on this wood thing. Alright. And the path is still there. Good. And these stairs are still there too. Otherwise he wouldn't be able to walk on them.
New buildings available.
Alright. Yes. Collects resources directly beneath it and gathers floating whatever. Now, as you can see, there's that red 0%. That's because it needs access to the sea. unsurprisingly. With everything that needs the sea to do stuff, obviously will need the sea to do shit. If you don't give it direct access to the sea, shit just goes bad. Now, obviously, you know, you can kind of partially block it off. You see that 56%? It'll still work, just the efficiency will go down. Obviously, we're not going to be that stupid. But you see how it's mirroring up to over there? Yeah, that's something that can help you out a little bit, because it'll actually help you out when you're trying to go and decide how to get over there, where it's going to be. I gotta say, whoever the developer is, thank you for that useful tool. Very handy indeed. The only problem is, yeah, you gotta be a little bit far out to be able to see what the fuck's going on over there. But we can see inside the apartments. See what's going down. And yeah, you saw how the supports here and the wood paths and the staircases, how I just built them all on my own. I didn't need anybody, but these do need to be built by people. That's something that's unfortunately something that's going to happen pretty regularly. Any building pretty much that isn't in one of these two slots, you need people to build, unfortunately.
Construction complete.
Alrighty, and
building again?
This is our first this is our first well, not our first, but I didn't describe the fact that we need to choose one of our people to start working this. This job can't choose anybody but engineers. The engineers, we can just choose how many we want to toss in there. This one, we can choose anybody. Now, obviously, some people are better at some jobs than others. The workers here, obviously, you've seen that they're going to do carrying capacity. Sailors, they're going to be faster, and the engineers, I know, increase productivity. I'm going to do workers just because I think that might be slightly better for pulling them out. But you'll see that they're going to be producing passively. And they need sea access and clearance. Now, clearance, you might be wondering, well, isn't that just the same as sea access? No. See right here, this wood rubble that's right up against the right up against the wall? Or how about over here? Yeah, over here is actually better. I can just show you over here. Where yet? Woodcatcher. So you see, the same as over there on our normal island, I have it right here, but wherever I shift it, we're slow. We've got 83%, 56. What's going on? Well, that's simple. This is messing with the clearance of it. These are obvious. This needs a clear shot down to the sea. It already needs access to the sea, but it also needs clear access to the sea. And we should stockpile. We know you're capable of making a good decision, but here's what we think you should do right now. Captain, wait, I have a better idea. Instead, don't listen to these fools. Everybody thinks they know better. But what do you think, Captain? We could say, let's focus on this resource. This is our #1 priority, or shut up, all of you. Now, if we do shut up all of you, obviously, nothing happens. You don't get nothing. However, we could go with this is our #1 priority and prioritize food, which we already have, which will immediately automatically clear it, which gives us influence. Or, of course, we could say water and hope to Christ we can get a water boiler really quickly. I'm just going to say this, and we immediately completed it. And that is the easiest bit of
places are doing better than us?
Influence we got.
I'm joking. But really, aren't they?
And the little narrator guy always cracks me up a little bit. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, Alan, this broken wall is kind of in the way. Why don't we just go and get rid of it? Well, we can't. As I said, we have these weak explosives. They're not strong enough to be able to crack the concrete yet. Don't worry, we'll get something for that later. We will definitely get something for that later. But for right now, this is pretty much our best bet. This is what we're going to be doing. This is how we can do it. We're doing just fine. And you can see various different, all sorts of stuff here. Eventually, the water is going to lower permanently. The sea level is going to lower permanently eventually. These are just temporary movements. And while it is useful for low tide, for every now and again stuff to happen, it's not exactly a yeah, and that's gonna be a problem. Yep, and that's a problem. So, how do we do this? How are we going to get over there? Well, honestly speaking, we can go down a little bit into the water. Can't go too far down, unfortunately. But we can see that there's no clear area to go down to make a little bit of a thingamabob for it. However, we do have this thing. This thing can help out a little bit. And if I do this... Come on, stop being stubborn. There we go. You'll see that the red thingamabobbers disappeared, kind of. Now if we just let it go and build out, you'll see that there is no collapsing. None of it's collapsing anymore. If we add this, we can see if it's about to collapse again, but no. No, it's not going to. So, now with that being said, we now have access to over here. And since we have access to over here, obviously the first thing that we're going to do is open up the water because, well, we don't have a lot of water. Another thing that we can do is go over to here, get the big ladder. Oh, no we can't. But yeah, as you can see, you can actually see what the heck is going on when you move your stuff down here. You can actually see the you can actually open it up temporarily. That's kind of neat. It'll actually show you what it looks like if it were to open up. And I'm obviously going to open this up. Now obviously they're not going to build these. They can walk down into the water, but they won't actually build anything down there. And that's a thing you gotta worry about when it comes to, well, low tide and high tide. Because obviously when the high tide shows up, you can lose your colonists because of, you know, flooding. And yeah, this is what I'm talking about. These right here, floating pieces of wood. And you'll see, it's giving you a little marker about which direction it's going. It's going straight that way by a little bit. You see, we got some scraps of floating junk coming in.
Research completed.
And yes, they can get stopped by they can get stopped by stuff. They can get stopped, and it's both good and bad. If it gets if there's too much of them, it can get pretty dicey. Now, I am going to build a simple boat. Because, well, obviously I'm going to build a simple boat. I like the boats more simply because they can do stuff like running over and grabbing all this junk and stuff. What's even more, though, is that if say the wind dies down while this is chilling out right underneath my catcher here, you're about to see some problems. Just need to wait a little bit, and
new buildings available. And this one
nope,
will need
not gonna
even
say
more resources.
Is it fast enough? Oh, it must be fast enough. Okay. Yeah, it's fast enough to it's fast enough to basically it must be fast enough not to actually block it. But yeah, if the wind died down and it just stuck there, yeah, you'd be having a bad time. Alrighty, and we'll go for Fisher Hut because... And we got ourselves a simple boat, so we are going to build a dock, which we could already build. And we will build a simple boat. But all in all, we also got a wood boiler. Now, these things are great and bad at the same time. They're great because they make you water. That's what makes them great. They're bad because they're a polluter. Put these near any of your buildings and they're immediately going to become extremely uncomfortable. And they're already not very good, so... But yeah, we will go and chuck a couple of sailors on there. And now we will go over and we will try to snag this big old piece of floating wood. This big old piece of... Oh, no. We'll set that at medium. Because I really want them to immediately run on over to that big one first. And this one's already done again. Nice. And yeah, you see, when they're not doing jack diddly, they basically just chill out. Oh, and... Oh. Ah. Oh, gosh dang it. I accidentally clicked dismantle. Meh. Oh well. Drifting wood. Our base has been hit by some drifting wood. Yep. So here's a couple of here's a example of an event. You can just take the 30 wood, or you can use some of your influence to get an extra 15. And I'm gonna do that because
as long as you keep them happy, people won't really care how you achieve your goals.
Because yeah, it's a good idea to have yourself a little bit of extra wood around. We're actually doing pretty good. Sure, we don't exactly have a crap ton of water or food, but having about 4 days or more of either one of these, well, both of these, is a very good thing. And you'll see here, now this boat is running around and grabbing all these resources that are just on the water. I will have you basically go and grab that wood if you don't mind. Of course, since I told them to grab the wood but they had junk, they had to really quickly run back to the dock and drop off their stuff. You will need to make sure that there is clearance, of course, for the dock. And you are also going to need to make sure that it is not super far away from the
Listen, mate,
water's
new
edge.
buildings available.
You don't need to go super crazy when it comes to making sure that there's, you know, there's the ability to get the water, but you also don't want to be stupid about this too, either. Okay, let us go, and we are going to be... Alright, fine. If you want to be difficult, let's be difficult. And... there. Okay. That should be good. And our research is finished, so we need to go and do more. We'll go with basic leisure buildings. Because, yes, obviously our people need to be able to go and have some leisurely activities. And yeah, you can have more than one boat if you want, just so long as you have the resources for it. But I usually like to keep one boat for a little bit of time. Just one boat to start off with. Yeah, sure, I could have more than one if I really wanted to, but don't really want to.
Good job, everyone. Enough work for today.
And of course, at night, your people go and they go to sleep. Make sure you toss down your fishing huts somewhere nice and safe. And I will say, you don't want these overlapping. You see right here, this little grayed out box? Yeah, that's their range. You don't want them overlapping. If you can help it, you don't want them overlapping.
Construction completed. Wait, what are we building again?
And of course, we are going to go and we are going to set a couple of people onto that. And yeah, whoever doesn't have a job, you are the people who come and gather these stuff. Which is why I'm not really focusing too heavily on getting a lot of my people, well, you know, having jobs. I don't need to worry about that too much. Now, the bad news is we're still losing water. So I think I'm going to go with another one of these, which is just barely not. I could get rid of that stuff. I'm going to, actually. Okay. And actually, looking at it, should be good to just do that. Okay, now we fast forward through the night. Because obviously at night, nothing really happens.
Work time starts.
Save for occasionally
now.
some more wood comes floating on through. Of course, junk got stuck. Because of course it did.
New buildings available. And this one will
And
need
we've
even
got
more
our
resources
leisure
to build.
building done.
Yay.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so we got the leisure buildings done, which means we have burn barrel, which I think I'm gonna set up right here, And park bench, which I think I'm going to set up right... Oh... Here? Here-ish. Yeah, right there. Because I'm going to set this one up right here. Yes, and that will keep it from polluting any of our buildings over there, just barely. More research needs to be done. And we will go with we'll go with yes. Explosive barrels. Explosive barrels are, of course, the next evolution of the barrels. They can do pretty much everything that the weak explosives can do, plus more.
Building completed.
Now, we've got this all set up, so we're going to add the engineers to here. Despite the fact that, obviously, that's going to shortchange us for people to collect this water down here. That being said, yeah, it's worth it. Problem is that these guys aren't really fishing up a storm. Yeah, they're not really fishing up a huge storm. I mean, they've taken our food supplies from going down pretty much an entire, pretty much 16 per day or whatever, something like that, to only 6. So, we've got a good more than 12 days, easily. More than 12 days, and honestly speaking, yeah, we're good. And the low tide is about to show up. And you're about to see how nutty low tide can get. And in fact, I'm going to preempt low tide a little bit. And get ready for it in my own special way. Oh, not nearly far enough down apparently. Okay, that's fine. And you're about to see a couple of messages flash down here eventually. It's going real slow. There we go. There we go. There we go. Alright. Now the low tide's, well, as you see, it's going down. And as it goes down, yep, this is just explaining that low tide, when low tide shows up, it obviously opens up a whole new path for you. Now, this is going to be a slight problem over here. Actually, I think I'm just going to get rid of these. There we go. It's still going to be a slight problem, but... Well, actually, you know what? Yeah, I can just get rid of those too. and this is idling because this can't be accessed by the boat anymore. So what we do is we go and we yes, we go over here. Correction. We go into here. We blow up these things, and then we'd be able to have a dock. Pile of concrete. Whole nother resource. Now, if you wanted to, we could get a little bit of a better view of what we got down here. And there's not a lot. You can see everything's kind of filtered in this green haze thing. Yeah, that's kind of the kind of showing you the oh hey, valuable crates. That's showing you that this is this is going to be underwater. Don't get comfortable with it being here. This will be underwater. Okay, come on, Winifred. My man, Winifred. Detonate that thing. Get our dock set up. Thank you, Winifred. That is very handy of you. And once the dock has been completely sorted, our boat will be able to go and continue, well, giving us more stuff.
Building completed.
This is the fishing spot that they were talking about beforehand. This is what you want to put your fishing spots above. Now, obviously, I could move one of my fishing spots over to there. And that probably would be a good idea, but I'm not going to. And you see, the water's still going down. The water is still going down. It's not it's not done yet. It's gonna keep dropping the entire time the green thing's going on. And then the red's gonna immediately jump it all back up. So you can see how quickly the high tide can come on in. Now, you see this little icon right here? That's because we managed to unblock one of these crates. And if we had 2 people, we could go and actually send them to go and do that. Now, obviously, I can just really quickly take him off of fishing and send them both over to there. And you can see from that glow, I'm pretty sure there's a valuable crate down there somewhere. Of course, I can't see it because of all the water, so... But the reason I say that is because of this, right over here. This tells me that there's probably a valuable crate over there. But now we wait. There's another valuable crate over there. But yeah, you can see that out of our initial stuff, you're seeing a lot of stuff finally exposed. And let me assure you, when the water does go down, it might not go down this much, but it does go down, I think, like 3 meters, as opposed to the 4 that the high and low tide messes about with. So basically, what we're seeing right here is gonna be pretty much our new spot that we can expand to. Everything you're seeing right now, we will be able to expand into eventually. Eventually. Not right away, but eventually. Alrighty. And this has been... Ah, that's unfortunate. Okay. So, what we got here is some guys have managed to find some supplies, but they got a funky smell. We can either tell them they're still good, just ignore the smell and lose loyalty, you know, his happiness with all of them. Or we can say throw it away and not get the food. I'm going to say keep it because, well, we definitely are going to need the food.
As long as you
and
say it with
I
confidence,
have more than
people
enough ways
believe that
to
you
get
are
their
right.
loyalty up.
Am I right?
And that is called giving them more water because we have a whole crap ton of water. A very effective spell, but a very odd spell, but an effective one nevertheless. But yeah, this is All Will Fall. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot more to the game than just what I've been showing you. We've only scratched the surface of what we can get. We've only just barely scratched the surface. We haven't even begun getting new people, which, let me assure you, as far as I know, there's no way to breed your people. Like, no way of getting your people to want to be, you know, getting busy making babies. So, yeah, the main way of getting people is just people in boats come on by and they either do what we did and crash here, or they just happen to be coming by, and if you got a high enough, you know, happiness rating with your people or enough influence, you could get them to join your colony. Yeah. And obviously the maximum amount of influence you can store up depends on how many people you got. So, it's not always a bad call to, you know, maybe spend a little influence to get some people. But that's going to be it for today. Bit of a short video just showing you what I've got here. And if you guys are obviously liking this and think that this would be a halfway decent game to start a playthrough of, let me know. Obviously, not going to stop RimWorld, but this is a game that's captured my attention, so I'm probably going to be playing it on my own anyways. So, if you guys want to watch me do that, let me know. You guys have yourselves a good one. Enjoy yourselves. Do the whole YouTube liking, commenting, and subscribing thingamabobber. And we'll see you later. Sayonara.